Coming up on The Last Call, Auburn's historic season comes to an end this week. You'll hear from Butch Thompson and the team on what it meant to play in the College World Series for the first time in 22 years. Also going down this week was the NBA Draft. We'll recap everything you need to know from who the Hawks picked and the history made by Auburn's Chuma Okeke. It's all on The Last Call, and it starts right now. Welcome back to The Last Call. I'm your host, Justin Holbrook. The Auburn Tigers' historic season came to an end in Omaha, and that's where we start, so let's run it back. Auburn's loss to Mississippi State on Sunday was heartbreaking, but the Tigers could not dwell on it because they had to get ready for another top 10 opponent in Louisville on Tuesday. But this time, loser leaves Omaha. Bailey Horn gets the start for the Tigers. He's only pitched 34 innings this year, has a 4-1 record. First inning, Tyler Fitzgerald gets all of this one, not coming back. Solo shot, and the Cardinals are on the board first. Auburn ties it up in the second with a ground-out RBI double, but they're in a bad spot in the fourth. Horn has the bases loaded. Elliot Anderson comes in and gives up a bases-loaded walk. But Anderson gets an out, and then he gets a ground ball right after that, which should do it, but remember the whole Julian thing? Oh, not again. Ryan Bliss can't handle the ground ball. 1 run scores, and the throw not in time, so 2-run score on the air. It's 4-1. The game went to a rain delay before the 5th, stayed that way all day, pushed back to noon Wednesday. Both teams get a run in the 7th, but with the bases loaded in the 8th, Auburn strike out Judd Ward. Man, key opportunity in the game. But just like all season, Tigers won't go away. Connor Davis, who already has 2 doubles, goes yard and makes it a 2-run game in the 9th. Stephen Williams doubles, so with 2 outs in the 9th, Rankin Woolley steps in as the possible game-tying run, and the guy from CVCC goes down swinging though. And Auburn's historic baseball season comes to an end 5-3 to the Cardinals. For more, here's Sports Director Rex Castillo in Omaha.
The Auburn Tiger season does come to an end on Wednesday morning after dropping their second game in Omaha 5-3 to the Louisville Cardinals. It was a little bit of a weird game, and so far the only one that was delayed due to bad weather. The Tigers faced a 5-2 deficit heading into the bottom of the 9th inning, but instead of rolling over, they relied on the one characteristic that defined them all season long, their perseverance.
We're just going to just give up, We're going to give it all we got until the last pitch is thrown, until the last out is recorded, and we did that today, and like I said, that's all you can ask for.
I think it just shows that, this is what we've been doing all year. We've been behind, we've had ups and downs, but at the same time, it's a tough pill to swallow that we didn't get where we wanted to go here, but at the same time, we made history by being the first team in 22 years to get here.
If there was a silver lining to this historic Auburn run, it's the fact they got here with so many young pieces. The Tigers proved they can get here, but head coach Butch Thompson believes his team proved they belong here in Omaha.
I came away thinking that Auburn baseball can play in this deal without having to do anything magical. Of course, if we played a little cleaner, I still think we're playing baseball here in the World Series. But I think as time goes by, I'll see that we have the ingredients.
So now Omaha isn't just some dream for the Auburn baseball team, it has become the expectation. And with so many young pieces on this roster coming back to the Plains, don't be surprised if Nebraska becomes a part of their regular schedule during baseball season. Reporting in Omaha, Nebraska, I'm Rex Castillo, News 3 Sports on your side.
Good work all week from Rex. Still to come on The Last Call. Chuma Okeke goes in the first round of the NBA Draft and makes Auburn history in the process. Hear from the newest member of the Orlando Magic after the break. And for a second year in a row, the Atlanta Hawks moved up in the draft to take a player in the top 5. They traded away the 8th, 17th, and 35th picks, but were able to snag 2 players in the top 10. We'll tell you who after the break.
Pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Chuma Okeke from Auburn University.
All right, so this moment behind me in the Sweet 16 could have changed the draft projection of Auburn's Chuma Okeke. In fact, many experts thought that this torn ACL would move him all the way back to the second round. But on Thursday night, they were proven wrong, with the sophomore taken 16th overall by the Orlando Magic, making him the first Auburn player drafted since 2001. Okeke will miss most, if not all, of next year to recover, but there's plenty of upside to this versatile big man. Last season at Auburn, he led the team in rebounds and steals while averaging 12 points a game and shooting nearly 40% from three. Okeke is now just the 7th Auburn player taken in the very first round.
I don't know, it still don't feel real. Like, I don't know. But it's just a blessing that they gave me a chance like this. And, you know, back in Auburn, my coach always said that he's always going to talk the talk, but he expects us to walk the walk and play for him. So, like, I see that the Magic had a lot of confidence in me. So, like, I'm going to just play hard for them for giving me this opportunity, because I know this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
His teammates Bryce Brown and Jared Harper were not drafted, but both Auburn players signed on Friday. Brown is headed to Sacramento, while Harper is off to Phoenix, and both will play in the NBA Summer League starting July 5th. Meanwhile, Georgia fans have a reason to be excited as well, because Nick Claxton was taken with the first pick in the second round, 31st overall. Claxton is the first Bulldog drafted since 2013, and certainly not the last, after Tom Crean snagged Anthony Edwards, who's the nation's #2 player for the class of 2019. Sticking with the draft, just 2 hours before it began, Atlanta traded the 8th, 17th, and 35th overall picks to New Orleans to move up and draft Virginia's DeAndre Hunter with the 4th overall pick. You see the Lakers there because LA traded the 4th pick as part of a deal to get Anthony Davis, and the Pelicans then traded that pick to the Hawks. It's the second year in a row the Hawks have moved up after taking Trae Young in the top 5 last year. Atlanta was able to keep the 10th overall pick, and with it they snagged Cam Reddish from Duke. So much like the Braves, the Atlanta Hawks are putting together a very young but very talented core. Meanwhile, the Columbus State women's basketball team introduced Matt Hauser as their next head coach. Hauser, who's been an assistant at CSU for 1 year, is now the 4th head coach in the program's 31-year history. He takes over for Anita Howard, who left in March for Georgia Southern. Hauser started as an amateur girls basketball coach in California and then spent 4 years on the collegiate coaching staffs at Concordia University Irvine and Azusa Pacific before leaving for CSU.
If you're a great coach, it doesn't matter where you're coaching. It could be California, it could be Georgia, it could be, you know, Italy or Germany. Great coaches just want to be a part of something special, and I really did my homework before coming here to Georgia, and to move my family out here and to be part of this was, you know, we kind of checked out all the boxes, and this is a program that anybody would be lucky to be a head coach at. So that's exactly what drove me here, and that's why I'm excited to be here.
Congrats to Hauser and his family. We're still serving on the last call, and up next, Tucker Melton joins us for the next round to discuss his decision on committing to the Bowling Green Falcons. #Maction. The Columbus Lions were in Massachusetts on Saturday playing their 3rd straight game on the road, and it came against a Pirates team that's won 3 games in a row. We jump ahead to the 4th quarter. Lions only trail by 1, 37-36, but they have the ball inside the 10 and can take the lead, but instead Luke Collis is picked off by former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket Lawrence Austin, and he's going to take this one all the way back. The second time he's taken one back for a tutty, so instead of retaking the lead, Columbus goes down by 10. Lions trying to get back in it. Collis and his team back inside the 10. This time drops back, scans, and throws a very dangerous ball into traffic in the back of the end zone, but it's tipped. Paris Mack, one-handed catch, touchdown. Extra point is good, 3-point game. Huge moment here. Pirates have the ball on 4th and goal, and from the 1, Sean Brackett is able to get across the goal line to extend the lead to 9. But the Lions respond. Collis to Chris Sanders McCullum, and Columbus pulls within 2 late in the 4th. 40 seconds left in the game. Pirates trying to run out the clock, but instead Marty Gilliard decides just to run it into the end zone, and that'll do it as the Lions lose 59-50, and they now fall to 3-6 this year. Staying with football, on Friday, the Covington News reported Georgia wide receiver Jeremiah Holloman has been removed from the team following an assault allegation from 2018. According to a UGA police report, a female victim came to police on June 2nd to report an assault that allegedly occurred on April 22nd, 1 day after the 2018 G-Day game. Holloman played in all 14 games last year and was the team's 5th leading receiver with 24 catches. But the departure of Riley Ridley, Mecole Hardman, Isaac Nauta, and Terry Godwin to the NFL meant Holloman was shaping up to be a fixture on this year's team. Well, not anymore. More SEC football news for you, this time good news. It seems like once a week there's a Central player committing to a Division I school. 3 alone this month, starting with Javion Cohen to Auburn, Tucker Melton to Bowling Green, and yesterday it was Joshua Jones to Kentucky. The 3-star offensive lineman picked Kentucky over Florida State and Arkansas, joining a Wildcat team that came in 2nd place last year in the SEC East. According to 24/7 Sports, Jones is the 32nd best player in Alabama. But back to Tucker Melton for a minute. He committed to the Falcons last Sunday and is now with us in studio today. All right, everyone, I'm joined by Tucker Melton, Central quarterback, committed to Bowling Green. So let's start there, Tucker. Why the Falcons?
Honestly, it was the relationship I had with Coach Leffler, the head coach, and Coach Warner, the quarterback coach. They treated me like family since the day they offered me. I've been talking to them every day ever since. So it was just that family atmosphere they bring to the table. So
what has this process been like for you? Because obviously, you kind of played alongside Peter, but a lot of people were looking at him. So what has this been like going into your senior year, and as you move forward, what do you still hope to accomplish? Because you do have 1 year left.
Well, me and Pete, we were like best friends, like we're really close and all that. So we really helped each other a lot in practice, just learning how to compete with each other, getting better, helping each other on different things. So he helped me a lot, but some people say it hurts me, but I think it honestly helped me more than anything.
How has that really prepared you, kind of being alongside of him last year as you guys, kind of did the whole thing together, 14-0 season and won a state championship, just the 2nd one in school history?
Yeah, we helped each other every chance we got. Any mistake he made, I was helping him, and then anything I did, he was helping me right there with me. So it just helped me become a better football player, all in all.
And now, who is that guy that's under you? Because you're now in that unique position where you're the senior and you can help somebody else.
Oh yeah, we got Trey Miles. He's really talented. He's a young guy, but we're still the same thing, competing every day, helping each other out, and just getting better.
So now, kind of going back to Bowling Green, obviously the weather a little bit different from Phoenix City, Alabama. What other things do you have to get used to, going into college?
It's definitely a lot colder up there. It's not as humid. I think it was like 75 degrees up there today. So I'm kind of looking forward to not being in the heat.
75 is a warm day.
Yeah, that's a warm day up there. Yeah, so just getting out of the heat actually be kind of good for me. I'm ready to get out of the heat and play in a little different atmosphere.
So some fans that may not know, they kind of wondering, why pick a MAC school? Maybe you could have waited through the senior year. What was your decision process like, where you said, this is the right fit, I'm going to do it now, and this is why this is right for me?
Just like I said, the family atmosphere and the experience they have coaching, just it kind of blew me away. Like, Coach Leffler coached Tom Brady, he's coached Tim Tebow, he's got 9 guys in the NFL. So it's just his experience kind of just blew me away, and I think he can prepare me for the next level too. So
there are guys that people may not have heard of when they go to the MAC, Khalil Mack being an example, or Antonio Brown, obviously Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Is it part of you have a chip on your shoulder that maybe the big guys, Power 5, however you want to say it, wasn't looking at you, and then you went up there and proved something?
Yeah, I feel like honestly they kind of missed out a little bit. I've had some SEC schools, some Power 5 schools talking to me. None of them pulled the trigger, so trying to pay them back when I up in the MAC. So
I don't want to put you in an awkward position, but say this year goes unbelievably well, you just dominate the entire league, you guys go win in state again, wherever the case may be, would you consider maybe, hey, some of the big guys come calling, maybe considering them, or are you locked in?
It depends on the situation, honestly, because I don't think anybody would say no to an SEC school coming from the MAC or something like that, so it just depends on the situation, honestly, but right now I'm 100% Falcons.
So in order to have that successful year, that's the goal. How do you get there? Because obviously a state championship repeat's not going to happen overnight.
Oh yeah, we're just trying to buy into the process right now. We're trying to get the younger guys to buy into what Coach DeBose is telling us. So we have the talent, we have all that. So we're just trying to buy in and do the little things right now.
But getting that monkey off your back, everyone kept saying they lose in the semifinals, they lose in the semifinals. It's going to happen again. It did not, and then you guys just, you blow Thompson out of the water. What was it like getting that experience, especially a guy that got a lot of playing minutes?
Yeah, we bought into the little things, like I said, like Coach DeBose preached, just the little things, and everything else will take care of itself. So we did those things last year, but it did feel good, getting all that experience and all that. So it was nice.
And now, obviously, the first week you guys got a huge test, Hoover in Montgomery. What's it like knowing that that's the first game right off the top?
We're ready for it. We're ready to get through with all the 7-on-7, the summer workouts. So we're ready to play real football again. So we're excited.
Has it hit you that this is it, man? Senior year, you got one more go around at it.
It definitely hit me Sunday. Honestly, when I committed, I called Coach Leffler and it hit me then. Like this is it. After this, I'm gonna be playing college football. So.
And what do the guys saying and Coach DeBose say to you? Because obviously you see them every day, weightlifting and practice wise.
We're just trying to play together as a team. We're not really worried about all the recruiting and everything like that. We're just trying to get the little things right and be prepared for the first game. So.
All right, man. Well, you got all of Phoenix City Central pulling for you, and we are as well. Thanks so much for your time, Tucker.
Thank you.
All right, Tucker Melton, everyone. We'll be right back.
That was the scene Wednesday night at SunTrust Park as the Braves knocked Mets starting pitcher Steven Matz out of the game. Atlanta entered this week leading the division by 2.5 games over Philadelphia after taking 2 or 3 from the Phillies. And the Braves tightened their grip on their NL East lead, going 4-2 this week against the Mets and the Nationals, extending their series win streak to 6 in a row. That, coupled with the Phillies going winless this week, helped the Braves extend their lead to 6.5 games in the East. We also saw the Atlanta debut of Dallas Keuchel. Despite losing his first start in a Braves uniform, there were some positives to take away from that start.
I mean, honestly, I felt better than I was expecting to, and mentally just trying to lock it in was going to be the biggest thing for me. But pitch in, pitch out, I felt like I was in midseason form now.
The Braves will start a 4-game set versus the NL Central leading Chicago Cubs tomorrow and will finish off the week in New York for a 3-game series against the Mets before coming home for the 4th of July week. What's up, everybody? We're back with Picks of the Week, and through the magic of television, Justin Holbrook's back on the desk.
It's nice to have a little break.
Anyway, we're going to the World Cup over in France. So we're in the knockout rounds. So we're picking either France or the U.S., assuming the U.S. beats Spain tomorrow in the round of 16.
Yeah, I do think that they beat Spain. Obviously, France had a pretty close game. I think they had a goal taken away from them from video review that probably shouldn't have been. So they won in extra time as they should have, 2-1 over Brazil. I think the U.S. probably wins by 3 goals over Spain, and then I got the U.S. winning 2-1 over France to advance to the semis.
I'm right there with you. I'm taking the U.S. over France, despite this is probably the World Cup final.
Maybe
in the quarterfinals.
Maybe Japan's got a pretty good team as well. But
they do.
With this being hosted in France, it's pretty much got the feel of a World Cup final.
The atmosphere will be electric, but I think the U.S. just has too much firepower, and I think they will win 1-0.
Okay, good deal. What's next?
All right, next up, we're going over to the baseball diamond. We're going to pick a team to win a series this week. Justin, who you got?
Yeah, so I know that you're going to do the Braves, so I'll stick in the NL East. I'm going to take the Phillies. They've got the Mets this week. Both of those teams kind of in the middle of the pack. The Braves starting to pull away a little bit. This is a big series being in Philadelphia, so I'm going to have the Phillies beating the Mets and kind of inching a little bit closer because I think the Cubs will gain some ground and let some teams come back over Atlanta.
Both of those teams have had disastrous stretches.
Yeah.
No thanks to the Braves. Speaking of the Braves, I will take the Braves. They have a 4-game set against the Cubs. I think they'll win 3 out of the 4.
Good deal. I also have to add in there the Cincinnati Reds are close to 500. They're not in last place. That's it.
It's about time.
That's it. That's all I got.
It's about time. Anyway, on to our personal picks. What you got?
Yeah, for my personal pick this week, I'm going to go a little closer to home. I don't know if I've ever picked the National Arena League, but I'm going to do it this time. Columbus Lions are 3-6 this year. They just lost to Massachusetts. Second time they've lost to the Pirates this year, but they get them again at home this Friday, or the Saturday. The Lions have not been at home since a month, 4 weeks. So I'm going to take the Lions back at home. Got to have this win, otherwise season's over.
Yeah, no kidding. Playoffs must win for the Lions. As for me, I'm going to go one more time to the NBA. The award ceremony is going to be this week. I'm taking Giannis to win the MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
He's going to win the MVP. He was by far, I think he's better than Harden and Paul George. I think he will win the MVP. Got the Bucks to the Eastern Conference Finals where they ran into Kawhi, who, as you know by now, went on to beat the Warriors and win the NBA title for the Raptors.
And for those that don't know, these awards do not include the playoff run.
No, they
so
do not
if you're thinking Kawhi should win because of the title, you're probably right, but they don't take into account the playoffs.
Exactly.
So that's about it, right?
Yeah, that'll do it for Picks of the Week. We'll be right back after this with more of The Last Call.
The last part of The Last Call is dedicated to Albert Pujols. Earlier this week in Miami, he came off the field over to the first base line where Nico, a young fan with Down syndrome, was waiting and hoping for his favorite player to sign an autograph. Pujols did that and more, taking off his own jersey, signing it, and then signing the one already on Nico's back. Later in the week, Pujols returned to St. Louis, where fans welcomed him back with a standing ovation, something they had not done in the past. And as if it couldn't get any better, Pujols hit what might be his last home run at Busch Stadium. And you would have thought that game was in L.A. from the roar of the crowd. Yes, that is in St. Louis cheering for Albert Pujols. And it was so loud that the old ball player came out for a curtain call. Pujols, by the way, started a foundation in 2005 to serve those with Down syndrome in St. Louis. It's still open to this day and has expanded to many other places, including his home country of the Dominican Republic. Classy act by Albert Pujols and a classy move by the St. Louis Cardinals. Thanks so much for watching The Last Call. We got a lot going on this week. We got Little League Baseball. We've got Northern taking on Lee County. We've also got American taking on Harris County. That's the winner's bracket, so we'll see what happens there. Winner decided next weekend. And be prepared for a Joshua Jones interview, committed to UK. Pick them over Florida State and Arkansas. That's all the time we have. Same time next week, 11:30, 10:30 Central. And you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at WRBL Sports. James Brown Show is next.